The Liberal Democrat leader, Sir Ed Davey, joined Yeovil MP Adam Dance, meeting parents at a baby sensory class in Ilminster this week. The visit came as Somerset NHS Foundation Trust confirmed it plans to fully reopen the special care baby unit and maternity inpatient service at Yeovil District Hospital, closed since May because of staff shortages that raised serious concerns about patient safety.
I had a really positive birthing experience at Yeovil. I was really lucky. I was able to have the birth that I wanted to have. So I had Polly in a birthing pool, which is what I wanted to do. And the staff there were absolutely amazing, so supportive throughout the whole process. We were so lucky and feel really fortunate that we were able to have Polly at Yeovil. And I think it's such a shame now that the unit has closed, and I think it's going to put an awful lot of pressure on the other maternity units that are available, and a lot of pressure on parents as well, having to travel that extra distance, being that we are in such a rural location. Having those vital services on your doorstep, I think, is so important.
Since the closure, nearly 300 babies have been born elsewhere, with mothers forced to travel up to an hour to Dorchester or Taunton.
It was our local hospital. It's only 15 minutes from our house. My partner was born in Yeovil Hospital. It's really important.
The staff were great as well. They were lovely, weren't they?
Yeah. We had a really positive experience. There were lots of mistakes there were issues in relation to birth, which are just normal. But the staff at Yeovil Hospital are incredible, and if we were to get pregnant again, then we'd like to go back. So that's why we want it open again.
Parents who gave birth at Yeovil say they count themselves fortunate, but for others, the loss has been devastating.
It's just such a travesty. They were incredible when I gave birth. I was a high-risk pregnancy, so in the final weeks of my pregnancy I was in and out sort of every couple of days, and then having had to have a C-section in the end as well. Just the support and kindness and empathy they showed. If they were short-staffed, they didn't show it. They really were incredible, and when I heard they'd shut, I just thought that's devastating for local parents and local families.
Today's announcement of progress was cautiously welcomed by Sir Ed Davey.
You know, the joy of babies it surpasses everything else, and it enabled me to talk to some of the mums who'd had their babies at Yeovil District Hospital, the maternity unit, and they said how important it was that they had a local facility, and how they knew that people who were deeply worried about the temporary closure. The good news, of course, is that it's going to open, reopen. We haven't got a full time scale yet, and we want to know whether the problems have been solved. So it's 2 cheers, not quite 3 yet.
Just how surprising was it to see a hospital like Yeovil shut its maternity unit back when it happened in May?
I think when Adam told me, I shared his surprise, and the fact that so many people in South Somerset got behind Adam's campaign, I think shows that everyone else was shocked as well. Health services in the southwest, and particularly in rural areas, are often forgotten by government, and I think talking to a lot of the new Liberal Democrat MPs across the southwest, they're very worried that they're going to have to fight very hard. Lots of my new Lib Dem colleagues across the southwest say this is the top issue that people talk about with them. So good news today that Adam's had this success, but there's a lot more work to do, and we'll be holding the government's feet to the fire. I'm afraid they seem to be lurching from crisis to crisis and not focusing on things that people thought they would do when they got elected, but Liberal Democrats will be chasing them down.
Frustration remains at the lack of a clear timeline for reopening.
We need to keep putting pressure on, because actually they haven't given us a timeline. We need to know when that clear timeline will be, because unless we've got a clear timeline, it doesn't give the staff the hope that they really have to get it reopened. But speaking to all the mums here who I've spoken to had their baby at Yeovil and said how fantastic it was. Even one which had their baby a couple months before the unit shut, and said how great the service was, and they really felt safe and secure in that unit. So it'd be great to actually see that this unit is going to reopen once again. My message to the NHS Trust is thank you for listening to the campaign which we've been running. Thank you for that. But also, please make sure you give us a clear timeline and don't hold back on when the timeline be. If it's not going to be later on next year, let us know. Just be honest with us and give us that timeline.
For parents here, today's announcement offers a glimmer of hope. But until the unit reopens, expectant mothers across South Somerset will still face long journeys, anxious waits and unanswered questions. The campaign for safe, local maternity care is far from over. Lewis Clark, Somerset Live, Ilminster.